Hey everybody, it is Dungeon Master Mark. Today we are doing our next gaming session. This is Quarantine Day 10, game session number 10 for my family and I. So hopefully everyone out there is staying nice and healthy and enjoying their quarantine time as much as humanly possible. I know it kind of sucks, but hey, at least it's quality time you spend with your family. So for today's game session, my family was quite enamored with finding the Ancient Sorcerer's Menagerie yesterday. So once they got done with the quest, the son of the sorcerer let them know that even though his father's passed, he knows there's also a laboratory and spell crafting area that he recently found access to, and he would be interested, since they did such a good job and they did retrieve the stone for him. If they would be interested in just finding out what all's down there and making sure everything's safe, making sure any traps are disabled, things like that. So, of course, the party was more than happy to, because they loved the game session yesterday. So, to begin with, the party's going to make their way down these steps from another little summoned area. And first thing they come to is these large bronze doors, which if they do open them, that is the wizards or sorcerers. Kind of like sleeping quarters when he's down here researching. There's a couple set of enchanted armors that are up on a rack that if anyone besides the wizard comes into, they animate. And then there's also a clockwork dog over there. Of course, there's a fireplace. There's a study where they'll be able to read some of his notes, and some large containers of wine. The other thing I should mention, as soon as they come down the steps, there is a statue of the sorcerer welcoming any visitors to the spellcrafting area, and of course another homunculus who wants to taunt them and basically just harasses the party as they travel around. If they do attack the homunculus, it's pretty easy for them to kill it. Occasionally though, when they do ask it questions, or when they do ask it questions, it will answer the questions. So it just depends on the diplomacy check or charisma check. Now this particular room here is locked behind a metal door. It is locked. It is fairly easy for them to either use a knock spell, because he just used a wand on it, or they can pick it the lock. And of course, when they go inside there, there is a large demon or devil in the middle of the summoning circle. So they'll need to roll a knowledge check to recognize what kind of creature it is. Obviously, it's pretty high level. It's been summoned and then stuck here for a while, so it's pretty ticked off. It will talk to the party, but basically just wants to be let go. And of course it does ask them to just break the circle with like a broom or something, and that'll release them, which they probably won't fall for that, but you never know. So down this chamber, they'll see this large glowing like lava pool, this fountain. If they do come down this way, there's a locked door over here which has another little portal which leads back to the menagerie. If they go down this room, there's a chamber. There's a couple of clockwork servants, and it looks like there's just dozens and dozens of barrels that are full, still kind of fairly warm to the touch than the last couple ones there. And if they do pick the lock in this area, it looks like a research area for making clockwork servants. So needless to say, the sorcerer is going to be very, very interested in that room. Of course, there's some reading materials. There's a globe that slowly spins on the floor there. There's a little cage with like a dead imp in it. I did skip this one room down here. If they do open this room and go down here, it looks like a storage area at first. There's a large metal cage, and of course, there's some toilets, because you got to go poop somewhere, right? Now in this cage, it's actually like a little corpse at the bottom, which they believe is a imp. So it's kind of unusual. It's dead, but it didn't leave the material plane. So the party, if they do research, it means he actually captured it on this plane and imprisoned it, used some kind of binding spell, which he was probably going to try to make it a familiar, and then it looks like it just passed away from lack of food. And then the one other thing I did want to point out is there is an ornate water clock on the wall over here. If I can get a decent picture of it. Now the water clock, it looks like it counts down at the top of every 24 hours. So the party, that's probably a hint. They probably need to leave after that 24 hours if the sorcerer is not with them or something might happen. Once they get down this way, there's going to be two of these like little imprisoned areas where there's two grill, which just look like they're in prison in case they need to be released. And of course we have a storage area over here with a mimic that's hiding amongst some of the cases. Over this way it looks like there's a burial room, like a antechamber where there's a corpse long dead. These are actually some little 3D printed resin. I call them skull spiders, but basically it's like a skull with little like bone crab legs that just kind of crawl around. They were actually summoned with one purpose, and that is to slowly crawl around the complex, look for insects, rats, things like that, and kill them. So it's kind of like a, just, you know, get rid of rats. And of course down here is this large alchemy area. So kind of neat. Like I said, there's some steam coming off some of these weird piping machines. What the party does not realize is the sorcerer would sometimes take alchemy jobs just to kind of self-fund some of his experiments, which is what this particular slime is. Every so often they'll hear like bubbling sounds where fluid's being forced through these pipes on the floor. And of course we've got a little bookcase over there that'll have some samples of different types of like reagents and powders. There is another little skeleton over here that is just basically going around looking in corner to corner. His job is also essentially just like a rat protector. He just walks around and kills any rodents. And then this skeleton, they know it's basically the top of an hour. He'll go and he'll go over this machine, turn a knob. These other two large constructs are turning knobs constantly. And you'll see the fluid kind of go up and down. What happens is at the top of that hour though, he'll grab a barrel, an empty barrel. He'll fill it up, he'll put it in that cart, and then he'll pull the cart down the hallway, around the corner, into the storage area. If there's an empty barrel, he'll grab it, make his way back around again, and the process starts all over. So they're just constantly filling up these barrels to meet a quota. Unfortunately, they don't realize that their master is dead, so they're just kind of on a programmed circuit of what they're doing. Yeah, I thought it was kind of interesting. Like I said, kind of a simpler, still fun scenario for this afternoon. Hopefully the party's going to like it. Of course, we got some beautiful minis over there. So yeah, like I said, it should be kind of interesting. Thanks for watching, everybody. I will try to post this up today, and then we should have a new video up tomorrow. And thanks everyone for watching. Bye-bye.